Look, I get it. You're grinding Marvel Rivals, but some YouTubers telling you to main one hero or pop your ult first to climb ranks. My brethren, that's not why you're stuck in Diamond. Those tips, they sound good, but they're overhyped and not why you're stuck. This video is your no fluff guide to real consistency, pro level tips to outplay your rank with smarter game sense, sharper aim, and a bulletproof mental. Here's the truth to get you climbing. After coaching players in Discord, I've seen the real reasons you're not climbing. It's not because you forgot to worship your crosshair, I promise. Let's get into it. Consistency in Marvel Rivals isn't about some secret pro setting or a magic sensitivity tweak. It's about putting in the work every single day. If you're only playing one match a day, you're basically practicing to stay average. It's like trying to get jacked by lifting a dumbbell once a week. Same deal with aim. If you're hopping into an aim trainer for an hour every Sunday, you might as well be playing Uno instead. Commit to a routine you can stick to, even 15 minutes a day, whether it's practicing Iron Man's ultimate timing on taking out a cloak and dagger, drilling Widow's headshots, or learning how and when to take space. That will make you more consistent than any YouTube hack. Slow progress is still progress, and it adds up faster than you think. Yes, even 15 minutes a day. Let's talk about in-match decision making, because this is where games are won or lost. Some guides actually tell you to pre-plan every move and then autopilot. They don't say autopilot, but that's what they imply when they say, map out what you're going to do for this game. That's a one-way ticket to getting outplayed by a half-coordinated team. In Marvel Rivals, you got to think on your feet. Notice enemy patterns. Does that Hela always play frontline before ulting? Is their group predictable with his walls? If you're playing a duelist like Wolverine, don't just dive for kills. Think about when to push the payload versus flanking. As a strategist like Mantis, decide who gets your healing orbs before your duelist hard carry is at 10 HP. I was working with a gold player who kept panic ulting as Thor. We worked on timing his engagement timings to counter enemy pushes, and he's diamond now, in the beginning of a new season. Thinking mid-fight is your superpower. Use it. Here's the part that might hit like a Hulk smash. Your aim is not your biggest problem. I know you whiffed that headshot as Hawkeye and lost the point, but trust me, aim isn't why you're stuck. Send me a VOD on Discord and I'll bet my Nintendo GameCube I can find at least 5 non-aim issues holding you back. Bad positioning, like standing in the open as Rocket Raccoon, mistimed abilities, like popping Groot's wall when the fight's already lost, zero team synergy, like ignoring your tank's opening engagement, or just straight up panic ulting as Storm when the enemy's at 10% health. Aim is the icing, not the cake. Let me tell you about a certain Grandmaster player. Call him Muffins. Muffins was convinced his aim was trash because he kept losing duels as Star-Lord. Muffins sent me a VOD. Turns out, he was playing like he's in a solo deathmatch, ignoring the payload and flanking at the worst times. We worked on his map control, using Star-Lord's mobility to pressure high ground and sync with his tank's dives. 2 weeks later, he was in Celestial 2, and his aim is still the same. Moral of the story, stop blaming your crosshair and start blaming your game sense. Exclusive loyalty badges, custom emotes, coaching, update breakdowns, and the warm fuzzies of supporting the grind. I wanted to let you know there's an option to become a channel member now. No pressure, but don't you want to be the Groot to my Rocket? Back to the tips. Let's break down the roles, because Marvel Rivals isn't just about fragging. Duelists like Wolverine or Spider-Man, your job isn't to chase kills like you're in a montage. Push objectives, flank smart, and stop diving without backup 100% of the time. There's nuance here, and I get it, Spidey mains. Sometimes you just need to go in alone, but there's nuance to when you engage. Wait a split second to see how much attention your Magneto grabs when he pushes the enemy team. Now, you notice your Winter Soldier pulled their Emma Frost into your team, forcing the enemy strategist to move out of position. Now's your time to shine. Tanks like Thing or Hulk. You're not a damage sponge, of course, so create space, heal for your strategists, disrupt their backline, peel for your strategists, and peel for your strategists. If you're standing in the open eating fire, you're not tanking, you're feeding. Strategists like Mantis or Jeff, prioritize who is making a difference for your team, not the guy who thinks he's invincible because he's playing Doctor Strange. every role has a purpose, and better aim isn't the universal answer. I saw a VOD where a Luna player kept snowflaking the feeding Iron Man instead of the Storm who was carrying the team. One paragraph of instructions later, and he's pocketing the right targets and winning more games. Now, let's talk game sense deeper, because this is where ranks are made. Marvel Rivals is chaotic. You got ults flying, portals popping, Groot walls blocking your shots. To climb, you need to read the chaos like Doctor Strange reads the time stone. Learn map flow, control high ground to deny enemy rotations, watch for flank routes. Magic loves those sneaky angles. Track enemy cooldowns. If Magneto burned his ultimate, you've got a window to push. And please, for the love of Stan Lee, communicate. Even simple callouts like Black Panther is on our backline or Torch ult soon can swing fights. Small changes, big impact. To really level up, you need to think like you're one step ahead of the enemy team. Because you are, start by predicting their team comps before the match kicks off. In the hero select screen, check the map and mode. On Yggdrasil's tight chokes, expect tanks like Magneto and or Emma Frost. On maps with open flanks, you'll likely face divey duelists like Iron Fist or Black Panther. Adjust your pick early. If you're on Moon Knight, swap to Hela if she's open to counter a flyer like Torch. This kind of foresight lets you outsmart teams before the first checkpoint comes to an end, and it's a game changer for climbing. Next, control key map resources. It's not just about high ground, it's about owning the right spots. How often do you use body blocking to take up space and force enemies to burn abilities to even approach? Duelists use off angles to catch enemies mid-rotation. Strategists stick near health packs to bait dives and stay early. This sounds obvious, but it's not. It works up to eternity. Own the map and you own the fight. It's as simple as that. Here's a sneaky one. Get consistent on baiting enemy cooldowns. Instead of diving headfirst as Psylocke, act like you're going in for a kill near a choke to bait out a Mantis sleep or a Magneto bubble. Once those are gone, re-engage. This works for any hero. As Rocket, fake a flank to distract their Widow, letting your team push while she's out of position. You'll still be able to heal anyway, so this is perfect for you. It's additional team utility for free. Strategists bait dives by lingering near your tank, then dipping behind cover when Wolverine commits. I've seen Mantis players step forward like they're lost, only to sleep the greedy duelist who dives. Baiting tricks enemies into wasting their best tools, and it feels like you're playing 4D chess in a superhero slugfest. Now, ultimate economy is where you start winning fights others lose. Always know who's got ults, yours and theirs. As a duelist like the Punisher, don't pop your ultimate if Magneto's sitting on his. Wait for him to burn it, then go wild. Tanks, track enemy strategist ultimates. If Invisible Woman just used her shield even, for example, consider holding your ultimate for the next fight. A good Invisible Woman is going to be able to place their shield at the right time, or a Magneto bubble at the right time, or Loki lamps. It's not going to be possible for you to outplay every single ability cooldown, especially at the right time. However, there's nuance here and it depends on the situation, but consider this. Good ult economy is about patience and timing, and it'll turn you into a fight flipping machine. Another pro move, exploit enemy tilt. When you wipe their backline early, watch for tilt signs, like their Loki swapping to a risky Black Widow, or their tank overextending like they've got a death wish. Punish it. Push hard when they're out of sync, but stay sharp. I've seen Groots spam walls after losing 2 fights in a row. That's textbook tilt. Focus them down every spawn. If their Star-Lord keeps diving solo, call it out and farm him. Tilted enemies hand you free mistakes. Make them regret it. Also, adapt to hero bans, because in gold rank and up, bans shake everything up. If Magneto and Emma Frost are banned, expect dive comps with like Wolverine or Magic. Swap to the Thing and shut down their plan. If Storm and Iron Man are banned, expect them to run a heavy ground game or have some shenanigans up their sleeve like a Squirrel Girl or a Moon Knight. Or if you're in gold, probably both. Bans force you to think on your feet, adapt, and you'll outplay one-tricks who can't. These strategies, predicting comps, controlling resources, baiting, ult economy, exploiting tilt, adapting to bans, are how you outsmart your rank. Practice just eat 1 per game. Try predicting their lineup in hero select or bait 1 cooldown per fight. Small reps build big habits, and soon you're clowning plats like they're AI. Mental game is huge too. Marvel Rivals can tilt you harder than a seesaw with Hulk on one end. One bad match doesn't define you. Tilted because you got one shot? Laugh it off, review your VOD, and figure out why you were in their sightline. Stay positive, focus on what you can control. Your positioning, your comms, your ability usage. A strong mental lets you clutch games when the enemy's snowballing. I've helped turn around 0% my team and 99% enemy team games because I stayed calm, called a regroup, and synced my Emma Frostholt with my team's engage. It sounds simple, but these moments felt like I was in an MCU movie. And you can do it too. Practice routines, because I know some of you are itching for actionables. For aim, use Aim Labs. It's free and effective. If you want to go crazy with this, look up the Voltaic community. Link is in the description. Spend 10 minutes a day on aim drills in-game for heroes like Widow, or tracking drills for Star-Lord. I've got an aiming guide at the top right of your screen if you're interested in that. For game sense, rewatch your VODs. Look for one mistake per game. Maybe you overextended as Rocket or misused Thor's kit. Fix that one thing next match. For ability usage, practice combos in the training range, like Mantis's self-boost to sleep to headshot setup. Nail the timing. If you're a tank, practice space making. Try holding a choke as the thing, then peeling for your support when they get dove. Small, daily reps build consistency. And stop ignoring your team. Focus on the basics. Stay with your strategists, even if you are one. Use your abilities to disrupt, not to chase. And it's almost always game sense, positioning, or teamwork holding you back more than your crosshair. If you've somehow mastered all that and still can't climb, then sure, grind aim trainers, but 99% of you work on the big picture. If this video's got you rethinking your Marvel Rivals grind, consider subscribing and check out my latest video where we break down how to actually rank up fast here. Stay frosty, queens.